The 4J's. We got the 4J's bringing it to you live. What's going on, everybody? The 4J's. Hey, I want to thank everybody for watching us tonight. It is Wednesday night. I like to think of Wednesday night hype night. We got the 4J's. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. And of course, we can't forget we are live on Liberty One as well. Hey, I want to thank you guys for joining me, for joining us, for everybody that's watching. We have a lot to talk about. World is crazy. The world is still going crazy. It still hadn't slowed down. People don't understand what's going on. A lot of people don't even want to recognize what's going on. But you know what? We got the 4J's, Jermaine, Jay, and Jamal, and of course, Johnson. What's going on, fellas?
Nothing too much. Just hanging out, man.
Yeah. Hey, awesome. So, hey, I do have some video clips. Now, there was one clip that Jermaine sent me, and it has a big disclaimer on there saying that, you know, you have to before you show this clip, you have to go into detail and everything. It's pretty horrible. I don't know, did you want me to show that clip? Because
no, don't show it.
Yeah, because what's going on that? Yeah, what's going in that is just absolutely horrible. So what we're talking about, there's a video clip with a young lady in one room. You know what? Actually,
yeah, you got to show it, Will. You got to show that so people can see it.
You might have to, Will.
Yeah,
and it's horrible though, dude. It's so horrible.
Yeah, you got to show that, Will. You got to show.
It's nothing graphic.
No, but you know what? It's just
the
it's what's going on. Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can pull it up. But you know what? Go ahead and talk about it, Jermaine, because you're the one that found it. While I'm working on bringing it up here.
Yeah, so this clip got sent to me by one of my followers, and they were very, very disgusted about this clip here. And this clip, to me, shows the morality of a lot of our youth that is growing up nowadays. It shows actually the lack of morality. Now, this clip Will's about to show you guys deals with a friend who's sitting in the room while the other friend next door is being raped. Now, this young black woman, as you guys will see, she's just sitting there. She's smiling. You know, she's live streaming it. And she's not giving a gosh darn about life. And this is the stuff that we are talking about today, about how these young children are being raised in this hellish world with no family and no structure at all.
Nothing.
And this is what leads to it. So
nothing. I mean, dude, it's absolutely horrible. Now, let me put a disclaimer out there, because for everyone that's watching this right now, you know, should we show this? I mean, should we show this? Because, you know, Facebook. I mean, dude, Facebook. You know what?
I showed it on my show.
Ooh wee! This is just.
I mean, get banned.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. I can't play it all. Okay. I'll play some of it.
We'll play some though, at least for them to get a gist of what's going on.
Yeah, I'll play
here's the thing
some of
we'll say. Warning for everyone, this part of the video, it is graphic in hearing, not sight.
Yes.
But hearing. And it will make you cry.
And if
you have a daughter like me,
yes,
you will get mad.
Yes,
you will get angry. You will. For all the guys who watch the 4J's, who like myself, Jermaine, and Will and Jay, you like our pages. I'm telling you, if you are a man, you will get so mad you will possibly punch the wall. When you hear this,
even if you're a lady, see this. A lady. I mean, I can't imagine. You know, a lady that. Okay, let me just go ahead and play this. This is horrible. So please, Disclaimer, this is the stuff we don't want to happen. We don't want this happening to anybody. This has nothing to do with political views or anything. My God. My God.
I can't make nobody do nothing. That's what she been telling me. Oh, I'm going to my house. I'm like, okay, all right.
And she just acting normal.
Like nothing's going on. Look at her.
And
smiling.
She's smiling, laughing too. This is horrible. What is this world coming to? My God.
Yeah. That's
Look at her.
What happened?
Okay. I don't think I can. I can't take it no more, dude.
I'm gonna review this shit.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. This is horrible, dude. I want to reach through and smack her and go choke the out of that dude in the room. This is happening.
I want to shoot both of them.
Man, that's
what I want to do. I want to shoot. I'm just gonna be honest with you. She don't. This is the type, Jermaine. I ain't trying to cut you off. Please forgive me, Jermaine. Please forgive me, Will. Because the first thing I thought of were my two little girls.
Yes.
This right here is why we do what we do. So when the next time somebody come up and tell you about victimization in the black community and all this crap and all these excuses, we need more big brothers and we need more after school programs.
Yes.
We need more money. This has nothing to do with money.
Exactly.
This is an absolute failure in the black community for the last past 50 years. You see the way her hair was and all that crap she had on? You can tell her mama probably ain't even, but probably 16, 15 years older than she is. They sat right there. Didn't even flinch. You know what I bet? It probably happened to her mother, and she done probably seen her mother get beat up, drugged through the house, so she done built a tolerance to it. And I don't feel no pity for her. Now, I'm not talking about the girl being raped. I'm talking about that girl sitting up there who ain't doing nothing. But just sitting there watching her friend get raped and listening to it.
You know what? That tells me it's reoccurring. For her to have such a dark spirit about this girl and not do anything about it tells me it is reoccurring. And see, that's one of the reasons why I scream the way I do. And I say this has nothing to do with politics. But you don't ever hear the liberal left speaking out against this craziness unless it's somebody white or unless it's somebody running as a Republican. Other than that, they don't care. Black lives don't matter to these people. It's sickening. I can't even believe. I got so angry when I saw that. I told you I wanted to reach through. This is reoccurring for them. It's sad and it's sickening. This is America. How did the song go? This is America. See, he didn't put that in the video, did he? This is America.
No, and what's sad is that this is the type of culture that is being bred in our youth. I mean, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, this to me is absolutely ridiculous, and this is exactly what Jamal said. It's a lack and it's a failure in the black community. I mean, you can't get around this. What would make you just sit there while your friend is screaming and you're just smiling? She had that little dumb smile on her face, looking retarded, and then her hair looked like she came from the Beetlejuice film. We don't know what's going on with her. You know, and the fact that she didn't have that God-given light to help. That's another woman. Remember when women say they care about women, girls care about women? I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this goes further than politics.
Yes.
This deals with the morality, and we have to address this. And I'm telling you, it's the way that these children are being raised.
I guarantee
it has
it.
everything to do with how these children are being raised.
Yes, and I guarantee that young little monster will go on, probably has videos talking about F Trump. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
You know, I just get so sick and tired of the people who will tell us, well, y'all don't know what going on in her head. I know what's going on in her head. She evil, she's stupid, she retarded.
Yep.
She's stupid.
Yep, absolutely.
She evil.
Absolutely.
And she don't care. See, this is what's going on with crime in the black community. This is what's going on with children raising children in the black community.
Yep.
This is what's going on when you sit there and you just fill your head with that trap music. You know what they call it? That's a good name, trap music. Because trap music keep you trapped in ignorance. Trap music keep you trapped in poverty. Trap music keep you trapped in the ghetto where you can't raise. And that idiot LeBron James, he want to sit and see. Now LeBron James will talk about everything, but he won't talk about stuff like that.
No.
Oh, that's right. Because if it wasn't for him dribbling a basketball, he really has no importance at all.
So let me change it up a little bit. Let me change it up a little bit, because I know we could go on all night talking about that, and it's simply horrible. And no one, and see, and no one would condone it. And then I'm guaranteed that that monster, they would complain about white people doing this and doing that, but look what they're doing. So let me just change it up a little bit. Now I don't know if you guys know, but I'm going to Portland, Oregon this Saturday, and there's a rally there. It's a pro-American, pro-Trump rally, and I'm going there to support the American people and to stand with other people. But did you know that the mayor in Portland, Oregon, and the police chief told the police officers to stand down when 911 calls came in to ICE members? Did you hear about that?
Yes.
It's absolutely crazy. So let me go ahead and this clip I have is from CNN, and let me go ahead and cue it up here, and they go into detail about exactly what happened here.
Telling you about how out in Portland there have been the Occupy ICE protests for over a month. A lot of the people were Antifa, it is described. The violence was occasional out there. It was a problem. And now we're learning that at least twice, people inside the ICE building, federal employees called because of they were fearing for their own personal safety, and the cops in Portland, at the direction of the police chief and the mayor, would not come to help them.
That is unbelievable. 2 times they called 911. Their tax dollars go to fund this. They needed help, and no one came because the police were told to stand down. One of these guys was trying to pull out in his car, in his vehicle, to try to get through the crowd. The crowd, he said, harassed him. He called police. Police didn't come. He was trying to go pick up his daughter from camp. And then he says that they showed up at his apartment building.
This is after they...
Not police. I'm talking about protesters.
Oh, this is the report. Some employees, as you said, even denied police assistance after they left the ICE building, including one man who's a disabled Marine veteran who was followed and confronted as he went to pick up his daughter from her day camp. So this guy calls 911, and the equal protection of the 14th Amendment of our laws, nope, doesn't apply to you, because you live in Portland, where we support the protesters and not law enforcement.
The union that represents ICE, they're furious about this. They mailed the mayor a cease and desist letter. They said it is in violation of the U.S. Constitution under the 14th Amendment, which says the government cannot deny any person's protection.
Also, part of the cease and desist letter says, we fail to see why targeting the employees of ICE and leaving them vulnerable to violence, harassment, and even death furthers a legitimate government interest. Your policy has created a zone of terror and lawlessness.
So they want to protect the illegals, but they don't want to protect the people who live here.
Exactly.
Clearly, the people in power in Portland don't like this president's policies regarding immigration. But do they like the national policies of keeping people safe? Federal
That's exactly
employees were at peril because the mayor and the police chief have a beef
How do
with
you feel
Donald
about
Trump's
that?
immigration
We
policy.
fired up about.
That's absolutely crazy. You can't even call 911 because 911's a joke in your town. Jamal got that one.
I'm
911's a
black
joke in
slowing down.
your town. You know what? I mean, this is sad. This is America. This is America. You can't call 911 any longer because if you support the president, if you support law and order, you can't even call 911, which is the law. This what is this?
You know what the president has the authority to do? Dwight D. Eisenhower did it when he wanted to escort the black girls in school. But what they don't realize is when he called up the National Guard to protect those black girls from going in that school, they had 4 M1 Garands bayoneted, and they had the 8-round standard clip. They would have shot anybody who would have stood in their way. They have a right that once the president of the United States call upon the National Guard to protect something or to escort, if you mess with any time, they are legally bound. They can shoot you. And what the president of the United States, I'm going to tell you something. I love Donald Trump. Y'all know I love Donald Trump, but Donald Trump, sometimes he keeps trying to think about what liberals think, and they feeling sometimes a little too much. I love you, President Trump, but you got to stop. Well, I'm worried about with liberals and push what you got to do. He need to call up the Oregon National Guard. Any officer or any NCO that refuses to obey a lawful command by their chain of command by the president of the United States, he need to fire that officer. He need to fire every last one of those officers because the president can do that. He can fire officers because if you ever watched the movie Patton told officers they were fired. He didn't say dismiss. He said you're fired. If you fire an officer, he's kicked out of. That's it. He's kicked out. I
agree. You know what? I'm going to be there this weekend. This Saturday, I'm going to be in Portland, Oregon. Absolutely. And Antifa already said they're already mounting up to come out and be violent. We support ICE. We support ICE. We support the men and women in blue. But I don't know what these men and women in blue doing here in Portland. It just so happened the police chief in Portland came from Oakland. And she's a total socialist. Her name is Danielle Outlaw. Of all names. This is America. Also, I'm going to be in Berkeley this Sunday. I don't know if you guys heard anything about that, but there's a rally going on in Berkeley, and that leads me to this next clip that I want to share with you guys. There was a young lady, and I'm pretty sure you were about it. There's a young lady, she's a beautiful young lady. She was murdered by this absolute thug in San Francisco or Oakland. She's murdered by this thug on the BART system. Murdered by this thug. They don't know why he did it. They're still not saying why he did it. I think he just wanted to go back to jail because he was out of jail just here in May. He got out on parole in May. Time served. He killed this young lady, and now he's going back to prison, probably for life. I think he wanted to go back. But it's really sad and it's disgusting what's happening here. These more thugs in Oakland decided they want to go to Berkeley and fight the white supremacists, which has nothing to do with this young lady. But they're saying that because we're holding a pro-Trump rally, that is all associated with this young girl and that we support this killing, which we don't. So let me go ahead and cue this up and then we'll come back and get Jermaine take on it first. This is the guy right here. This is the monster. The monster.
BART's police chief says he hopes the arrest of 27-year-old transient John Lee Cowell is the first step in healing for the heartbroken family of 18-year-old Nia Wilson, stabbed to death Sunday night as she and 2 of her sisters switched trains at the MacArthur station. Police say Cowell's attack was unprovoked.
Obviously very dangerous, not only in the BART system, but throughout all the communities here in the Bay Area. So we're ecstatic to really have him in custody.
Cal was arrested at the Pleasant Hill station on an Antioch-bound train. The train was stopped and searched after a tip from a rider. It was the second tip in an hour. Cal's face had been widely publicized since noon.
It was a very uneventful type contact. They asked him what his name was.
The chief says Cal, a parolee, was unarmed, gave his name and ID, and did not resist. As a known fare evader, the chief says that's likely how he was riding BART today. He says there were many moving parts to putting this case together.
We had where he doffed his clothes in a parking structure. We had a knife that was located. We had video that had to be recovered in different locations. And then we had to track down to make sure this was the correct individual.
The chief notes officers were in the MacArthur station but not on the platform when Nia Wilson was stabbed.
A prison yard type of attack where the guy came up behind Nia and stabbed her in rapid succession 2 times and then stabbed her sister in that same way.
Rojas says more officers help prevent violent crime, but in this case, it was over in an instant.
So listen to this part here.
Basically happened
when the reporter comes back.
At the snap of the fingers, at the drop of the pen, that quick.
Right here, listen to this.
And while Rojas says he has nothing connecting Cal to any white supremacy groups, that everything is on the table as far as motive. Now, Cal's previous conviction is for robbery. He served 2 years, and he was paroled just a few months ago.
See, he has no ties that they know of with any white supremacists. It has nothing to do with. Dude want to go back to prison. That's what that boiled down to. Dude want to go back to prison. That's all that is. He wanted to go back to prison. He had nothing to do with any white supremacists or anything. The reason why I brought that up and played that clip, because I'm going to be in Berkeley this weekend, and all of these thugs coming from Oakland talking about the white supremacists that harmed this young, beautiful girl did this. And it's not true. We have people that dropped out from going to Berkeley because they don't want to be labeled as white supremacists. I've been called white supremacist so much, I'm still going. I don't understand people backing down in this country because this is America. They're backing down because someone said something. But it's horrible. This is the horrible stuff going on. Go ahead, Jermaine.
You know, Will, it's absolutely terrible and heinous crime that this happened here. You know, the motives are not founded right now, but one thing I can tell you is that Black Americans, and I spoke to a lot of them over this past week, and I had a debate on the O'Shea Duke Jackson show with some pro-blacks, and they all believe that this is a racially motivated crime. Anything that has to do with Black Americans getting in some sort of struggle with a white American, or they end up getting killed, they believe it's racially motivated. Now, a lot of those folks that are on the other side, they are locked in anger, Will, and you have to understand this. They've been taught a lie for most of their life, and they bought into it.
Yeah.
Now they're seeing these certain instances where Black Americans are being killed in these circumstances, and they link right back to racism, which it's not. And people need to get over this. Okay, we live in America. We're all Americans, and we need to start acting like it. Now, when we go back to the ICE situation that just passed, we need to understand that these liberals are not going to work with us. They hate America. We need to get that into our brain.
Exactly.
We need to start acting accordingly. There's no more time for, hey, let's just try to hold their hand and let's unite. No, we can't unite with these folks because they don't want the same vision that we want, ladies and gentlemen. These folks are lawless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's going to get to a point where we're going to have a civil war because these folks do not like America, and they don't like what America stands for. And once we start figuring this out, I believe President Trump himself, he will start making the right decision to get these folks out of office. And it is going to get to that point, because how can you run a country when the own elected officials don't want to uphold the Constitution?
Yeah,
they don't.
Exactly.
So how can we do it? We can't, Will.
Yeah.
We have to start acting accordingly, and we have to treat them as they are, which they are enemies of the state.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's exactly what Jamal's been saying, that these people, they are enemies. They are our enemies. You want to go to chime in, Jamal?
Oh yes, I bet you all them that's mad over that black girl being stabbed on that bar don't know who Taylor Hayes is. Bet you they don't know who she is. Bet you ask them, who is Taylor Hayes? What does that have to do with anything? She was a black girl, the little 7-year-old who died July 19th.
Yep.
Because she was in the back seat of a car July 5th with her mother's cousin and was shot and killed. Was shot that day but died 14 days later by a bunch of drug dealing gangbangers. Bet you they wouldn't know her. Bet you they wouldn't know Nisha Mickens. Bet you they wouldn't know Kayla Kavas. Bet you they wouldn't know that. I had some people send me that exact before I got banned. I had somebody send me that exact same article. And you know what I told them? Okay, you want to run and send me this article. This is racism. I shut that down right then and there because you know the questions I said, number one, if this was racism, that would have been showed long. That was liberal San Francisco where that happened, okay? Mm-hmm. They would have been all over the news. This was a racist white supremacist who attacked and targeted this black girl. Okay? What it is, this man was probably homeless because he just got out of prison. He was probably homeless, living on the street, hungry, and on drugs, or if not, a mental health issue, and he stabbed her because he just felt like doing it. I'm not, and I sat there with a guy, he wrote me on this. I asked him, show me where the article says it was racism. Show me. I bet you, and the guy couldn't do it. He wrote me the same article before I got banned, and I told him just like that. I bet you now one of them who claiming white racism won't talk about that black girl who sat right there while her friend got raped, which we played earlier.
Yep.
See, it's a thing called selective outrage.
You know what?
Selective outrage.
Yes. You know what gets me? Yeah, I'm sorry, Jamal. You know what gets me? Is that they're not directing their anger at the right people. All of this stuff happens because of the policies the Democrats are putting into place. And they're not directing their anger at the people that's causing this, that's allowing this to happen. It's the same thing when Kay Steinle was killed on the pier. They're not directing the anger. See, she was okay because she was a white female. The liberals, the Democrats, they came to the rescue of the murderer. Not the victim, but the murderer.
Hey, Will, real quick, throw Danielle Lee, HRANAC. Throw her off the page. You people want to be ignorant? I got something for you. Oh, I wish I had the right. My power back to ban and throw folk off. That's the name.
See,
throw her trash yourself off. Okay. She gonna sit there and think it's fun saying coons and call us Clayton biscuits.
Oh, really?
You know, those folks, and Jamal.
I show you Clayton. Ban them. Throw off.
Jamal, and you gotta, you know, those type of black folks, I believe a lot of them will never change, Jamal. We have these black folks who are so ignorant, so deep in the trenches of ignorance that they will never ever change no matter how much truth you bring to them. And these are the same black folks who say that they believe in God, right? I'm a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And then yet they'll be in the church calling you coon. They get out of church, they call you coon. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, these are the type of black folks we have to deal with all day long. And these folks do not ever use any logic.
No, they don't. I mean,
they don't have to because no one holds them accountable. No one holds them equally accountable to what they do. When they see someone black, they see someone outraged, they treat us like we're children, like we're ignorant, incompetent, irrational, over-emotional children that we can't hold rationality to do stuff right.
You know, dude, they are so angry. I'm trying to find them. I think they stopped commenting for a minute. But they're probably still watching because they're so hateful. They can't help themselves. Why is it when you have black people come on here saying what we're saying, positive, that we don't want the crazy stuff to happen, we only want positive stuff to happen, why do they attack us? You ever wonder that? You ever think, here it is, it's just like the president. He's doing more things, making jobs for black people, jobs for Hispanic, women have more positions, the economy's better, he's doing great things across the world, but yet they say the nasty things about him. Why do they do that? They turn over to a reprobate mind. That's why. Because these people hate everything that is good. They love everything that is bad, that is wrong. They're disgusting, you're despicable. And you know what? It's mainly these black thugs that get on here and attack us, and for some reason
you say that.
And for some reason, and it's white liberals. I mean, I've had white liberals do that, and I've said this before. I had a white liberal tell me, "You don't know what it's like to be black." I'm like, what? How is it? What? Do you even hear what you're saying? Anyway, go ahead.
Well, what I'm gonna say is that these black folks care about the color black so much they skip over morality, and it's such a shame. These type of black folks are the same black folks who destroyed the black community. They never call out other blacks for doing the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. These are the same type of blacks that will sit in a room while their other friend is being raped.
Yes, that's
these
exactly
are those type of blacks.
Yes.
And they get mad at us because they think that we're dumb like them. They want us to be the same IQ.
They want us to be dumb like them, and then when we're not, it's an issue. Okay, let's change the subject here. Let's change it up a little bit here. Let's go to the fake news CNN. The fake news CNN. You know what? I love Trump. Trump, he started calling CNN fake, and they're straight up fake. I mean, they're straight up fake. So let me play this clip. I got another clip for everybody. This is a clip from a total leftist network station. Okay? A total leftist network station. But listen how they talk about it. This is what we're having to deal with, as if, oh no, the president is getting the American people to attack the media. Really? How about the media stop attacking our president? How about the media stop being the enemy of the American people? And then we might agree with you. Okay, so here's the clip right here with this Yahoo. Listen to him.
Donald Trump rallies are always high volume and packed with energetic supporters, but tonight's rally was described as rowdy, angry, and hostile by two people who were there. A New York Times reporter tweeted, "This was as hostile as I've seen people at a Trump rally." And a Republican Florida congressman, a Republican, said this crowd had more extremists, and he said this was not the Republican Party he knew and loved. And here's why.
Fake news, fake news. They are fake.
They are fake.
In Tampa, Florida, Tuesday night at a rally for a Republican candidate for governor of that state, President Trump continued to hammer many of his favorite targets, including the news media. But this time, the crowd took their cue from the president, shouting down CNN correspondent Jim Acosta when he was trying to do a live report about the rally.
You can hear there is a chorus of boos and other chants from this Trump crowd here in Tampa, Florida. They're saying things like CNN sucks,
CNN does suck,
and fake news. Well, obviously, all of those things are false. We're staying right here. We're going to do our job and report on this rally to all of our viewers here tonight.
After the rally, President Trump retweeted a video from his son of Trump supporters harassing Acosta, and the Trumps were gloating about it. Watch supporters of President Trump chant CNN sucks during Jim Acosta's live spot at the rally. Acosta also tweeted about the rally incident. "I'm very worried that the hostility whipped up by Trump and in some conservative media will result in somebody getting hurt. We should not treat our fellow Americans this way. The press is not the enemy." Burbank Congressman Adam Schiff says Trump was warned about his attacks on the media in a recent meeting with the New York Times editor.
These taunts to the press are likely to induce violence against the press. And the president said he was proud that others were imitating, other leaders were imitating his claims of fake news and the press is the enemy of the people. And it had to be pointed out to the president, yes, these other leaders imitating you, they're all dictators.
This is a fight against the American people. They're literally attacking the president of the United States. That's exactly what they're doing. They are the enemy. And then they're sitting there talking about that this is going to cause the people in the media to get hurt. But look what the media is doing. The media is causing people like me and like us that love this country and support the president to get hurt when we go to a pro-Trump rally. And they try to say that this is not the Republican Party that I've grown to love. We don't want you in the Republican Party, you stupid rhino. I mean, seriously. I don't mean to be so harsh, but my goodness. People are sick and tired of the media lying day in and day out. You know, I was talking to my producer earlier. CNN, they have a multi-million-dollar network, and they spend every waking moment attacking the president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. They don't need, it's like they're so consumed with hate, they don't see nothing else. Nothing else.
You know the reason why that is because CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, CBS, they are all ran by the same type of corporation. The media press in this country, ladies and gentlemen, are owned by a few companies. Think about the monopoly. That's why when you hop on MSNBC, it sounds like CNN. That's why when you hop on regular NBC, they sound like CNN, right? When they hop on CBS, they sound like CNN. Ladies and gentlemen,
fake news.
You have to understand, they've been controlling the narrative for decades.
Yes.
You got to understand this. And President Trump has finally broken the mold. You have to understand this.
Yes.
He has made them to be what they are, which is fake news.
Absolutely.
They're the ones who drive our agenda. They trying to get us to think that the way that they want us them to think. You have to understand this. They are controlling our narrative. So it's time that we control our own narrative as human beings. All right, we are sovereign human beings, and we should be able to live our life without being controlled. And information is control, ladies and gentlemen. And if they can consolidate the information and parrot the same type of information, they can control our destiny. And Donald Trump has changed that.
Yeah, let me say this for Jamal jump in there. They want to control our destiny. And it's us, the American people, that want to control our destiny. We want to control it. Go ahead, Jamal.
You know, the problem is conservatives fighting back. See,
that's true.
When they go to that rally, when Madonna said she wanted to blow up the White House, Maxine Waters talk about, confronting people who work for the president administration. When you got ICE being told they own their own, CNN, MSNBC has no problem with that. It feels good to see the Republicans doing that at the rally. It feels good to see fellow deplorables saying CNN sucks and yelling it back at them. It feels good to see them take it back to them. Take the fight back to them. CNN has lied, done everything they could in the world to bring this president down, and the people stood up and letting them know they don't care. I'm not being free. And when they say somebody is gonna get hurt by this rhetoric, they forgot about Congressman Scalise, didn't they? He was shot by a Bernie Sanders supporter last year. Oops. Shh. They don't talk about that. See, it's only news and out of control when Democrats and liberals are the ones getting hurt. See, when it's Republicans getting hurt and it's conservatives being hurt, you barely hear about it. When the last time you heard them do panel discussion of how radical Antifa are? Remember, they had to be shamed into saying Antifa was wrong. They can talk about Charlottesville. Oh, Charlottesville. Oh,
They still talking about
President
Charlottesville.
Trump with Charlottesville. Oh, what we're going to do. Racism, Jim Crow's, slavery. Oh, Donald Trump, what we going to do? He got to go. What about Scalise being shot? Oh, we don't want to talk about that. That's what happens. And it's getting ridiculous, and people are speaking up. And you notice he said conservative media. Who else is he talking about but Fox News?
Oh, of course.
Who else is he talking about but Rush Limbaugh, talent on loan from God? Who else is he talking about but Glenn Beck? Who else is he talking about but Sean
Drudge
Hannity?
Report,
Who
Sean
else
Hannity.
is he talking about? Who else?
Tucker, Sean Hannity, Tucker, Drudge Report, InfoWars, Liberty One.
Alex Jones.
Yes. You know, you're absolutely right, dude. You know, I respect this president. You know what? I really do. And the more and more I see how he pisses off the left, the more and more I've grown to love this president. And I've never said it about a president in the past, but dadgummit, Trump is awesome. I mean, dude is straight up awesome. He knows how to play the media, and they keep falling for it every single time. They keep talking about Russia, 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 Russia. It's like an orchid. Russia, 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 Russia. I mean, they have nothing. And now, because they don't have, Giuliani came out and said, colluding is not against the law. Oh, I can't believe he said that. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I know. We can say it was a conspiracy. Now they're changing it to a conspiracy. Dude, the insanity of the left, they don't even know what direction they want to go. And I pray to God that they are crushed November 2018. This whole little blue wave that they're talking about, I want them to be crushed. And I want them to come out and say, see, Trump didn't do anything. Trump allowed this to happen. The Democrats have lost their backsides, their portholes, how Jamal likes to say it. And the Republicans have taken more seats ever before in history. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. And I pray that happens, because this world, this America needs to change. This is America. It needs to change. Let me play this quick. Let me play this last clip that I have for you. And this is icing on the cake for me. This is the reason why I love this president. I mean, I really do. I really do. Let me play this clip for you. And this is really good. This is really good. And talk about a Russian robot. You want to see the biggest bot of them all? Check this out.
They just came out with a poll. Did you hear? The most popular person in the history of the Republican Party is Trump. Can you believe this?
True. Look at that. I love it. Blacks for Trump 2020.com. Look, I love it.
Bobby Stevens.
You hear that? We love you, Trump. Now watch this. This is beautiful.
Does that include Honest Abe Blinken? He was pretty good, right?
Oh, yeah.
Remember I
Watch
said
this.
when I'd be a little bit wild and would have a lot of fun, they'd say, he's not acting presidential. And I'd say, well, it's a lot easier to act presidential than to do what I do.
Watch this. This is beautiful.
Anybody
I love
can
it. I
act
love it.
President.
Looking all stiff.
Look at him.
Yeah.
See, I love this dude. Look at him. Now watch when he comes talk. Watch when he start talking. Listen. Look.
Ladies and gentlemen of the state of Florida, thank you very much for being here. You are tremendous people. And I will leave now because I am boring you to death. Thank you.
Dude, I mean, I'm the president and I'm boring you to death. Anyone can do this. I'm a Russian bot. I'm a Russian bot. Dude, they hate this man so much, and he knows exactly how they want him to be. They want him to be a certain way. He's not acting presidential. and I love it. I love it. And you know what? Every single day when he comes out and he does something that just pisses them off, I grow more and more respect for this man. I truly do. I love it. Go ahead.
You know, it was absolutely beautiful, Will. You know, this president, it's so easy for him to get up there and tell the truth. You know, past presidents could never have this type of rapport with the people. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
They could never just let down their collar and just be a regular person. You know, all these other past presidents, they're all astute, you know, they're all stiff. They have to speak in a certain way. And this president here, he can really bond with our people. You get what I'm saying? He really bonds with Americans because, ladies and gentlemen, he is an American.
Yes.
I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. And the press, they hate him because all he does is just tell the truth. He tells it how it is, right? He doesn't put a spin on it or anything. And the press is mad about that, you know? So I absolutely love it. He's an alpha male.
Yes.
He's able to clown, right?
Yes. And you
clown to the best of his ability, let me tell you.
And guess what, people? Guess what? We like him, and he's a white man. He's a white man. What? What's wrong with you? You coon? You Uncle Tom?
He touched me.
You guys cooning for the white man.
He's a coon. Look at these coons. They like this white man. Dude, when they hit me up with all that, I start playing with him. My producer get mad at me because I'll play with him a little bit, and she'll go block, but I try to play with him a little bit. He's a white man? I can't believe you like him.
Ooh, yes, boss. What can I do for you now? Can I dance for you? That's what they act like. That's what a lot of them ignorant black liberals and white liberal trash act like. You know, Rose DC, I got to give her credit. Rose DC brought out a good point. They didn't never talk about the person who busted the races in Charlottesville was an Obama supporter.
Sure was.
They don't talk about that. We gotta have our barbecue and fried chicken, but we can't talk the truth now. See, they don't want to talk about that. See, they don't like us up here doing what we doing because we're telling the truth that they don't want told. See, we was up here like, yo, Will, let me tell you something right now, son. Yo, you see that fresh video? Yo, son, let me tell you about it right now, man. Yo, I'm gonna tell you really, like, yo, man, I'm hitting this weed, right? Yo, what's up, Jermaine? People acting like that. Then they tell us we acting black.
Yo, dog, check this out, dog. Yo, Trump, man. What's up with Trump, dude? Yo, dude, Trump, yo, man. Dog, check it out, dog. Did you see his star, man? They tore that stuff up again, man. That's his star, man.
Yo, man, you know Donald Trump want to build slave ships, right? And put black folk back in slave, right? See, Donald Trump gonna take us, right? He gonna put us in slave ship us to Africa, then bring us back.
Absolutely.
Yo, man, I'm telling you, man. I know Donald Trump. I know white people like that, man. I ain't had a job in 10 years, but since he been president, he made me get out and get a job, man. Man, I had it good. I want my food stamp card.
You know what? He gonna send black people back. He gonna send black people to Africa when they never been there, and then when they bring them back, he gonna put tariffs on them.
I mean, this is the way these black liberal trash nationalists who write us. You know, this is what they think. Oh, you got a rebel flag. Actually, it's called the battle flag of Virginia, and I got it because I'm in rebellion to the ignorance and stupidity of the black community. And if you knew anything and had any common sense, that lets you know this flag means black Southerner.
Yep.
This means a Southern flag, but you know what? They don't want to talk about it because, like I said, that little girl, the little girl, Taylor Hayes, died July 19th.
Yep.
Silence.
Nothing.
Nisha, and Kayla, dead by MS-13. Shh. Silent. Don't break up. Brown and black unite.
Nothing.
Now you have someone else who's in Chicago. I don't know her name. The little girl who, I think it was a little boy, little girl got shot and killed in Chicago. Black folk is caught between crossfires, and you know what's the worst part about it? They really care so much about the black community. If black folk really care about life and the life expectancy of a young black man and a young black woman, there would be so many cameras in a black community at the drug dealers and the gangbangers. Every time they stand out on a corner, there's somebody have a cell phone. I'm turning you into the police.
You know what? And they sure could do that, but they don't do it. You're absolutely right. They do not do it. Dude, that is brilliant. They do not do it. So hey, I'm gonna open up the phone line, and we'll probably take a couple phone calls here if anyone wants to call us and tell us what they think about anything that we talked about tonight. You don't even have to talk about this tonight either. But you're absolutely right. That's something that really should take place. They should be out there right there. What you doing? You selling drugs? Oh, you gotta go. You gotta go. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, fellas? It's Kyle from Charlotte.
What's going on?
What's up, Kyle?
Hey, what's up?
What's up? I have a couple of things. Man, you guys got me going today. How is the state going to sit here and ban straws but want to allow illegals?
Yeah, you're talking about San Francisco. If you get caught with it, if you go into a restaurant in San Francisco and they give you a straw without you asking, they can get fined. And I think they even talking about jail time. It's this insanity of liberal left. This is insanity.
Yeah. Okay. Now I have to bring up the 3D printing guns because a lot of the lies are coming out. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a fan of the 3D printing guns. It is what it is, but they're sitting here saying it's undetectable. One, you have to have metal to shoot, the bullet through.
Yeah,
so it's going to be detectable. Two, if you shoot a bullet through plastic, it's just going to explode. And then I see some of them talking about how it wouldn't be detected in metal detectors going through like airports and stuff like that. But they don't realize the bullet will not make it through the metal detector.
Yep.
And then on top of that, I forgot the word of it. Crap. Unidentified guns, undetectable guns have been illegal for like 30 years. So, but Jermaine, I have to tell you something, man. Your hat last week, man, had me hype. I wanted to go find my broke down Sega Genesis at my mama's house and play my Sonic game so bad, man. and Jamal.
Absolutely.
Jamal,
I love Sonic. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
I was a big Sonic the Hedgehog player.
That. Yeah, but Jamal, I got to get you, man. I got to get you today, man. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Okay. next time you send the wrong person a text message about 4 a.m. saying you're going to be late, you better expect a broke down Ford text. I'm going to tell you that right here, right now.
Oh, awesome.
You know what, Cal? I
work.
realized I text you when I was like, wow, I didn't hear nothing from Mike. Then I look, I said, oh, that's the wrong person. Well, at least you know what time I have to get up in the morning and leave to go to work.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I was like, I looked at the phone. I heard it go off. I was like, oh, man, I have a Ford joke so bad, but I'm too tired. So, but, fellas, I'll let you get back to your callers, man. Have a good night.
All right, Cal. Go fix that Chevy.
You know, my producer said you can get up to 3 years. 3 years for the straw offense. 3 years.
Insane.
See, here's the thing about what the left and progressive and Democrats is always exposed. They want tyranny. I won't say totalitarianism, but y'all know I'm from the South, and I can't follow the foreign words. I had some college, but I ain't graduated from college. I'm gonna be real with you. Well, it's totalitarianism. Somebody help me out. Y'all know what I'm saying.
Totalitarian.
Totalitarianism. But they want that. They want the ones who cry about freedom of the press. They just want all press to be liberal. That's why they call out conservative. They talk about freedom of speech, but they don't want people like Ben Shapiro, Steve Crowder speaking on college campuses. They talk about having fairness, but they don't want to be fair if it's someone white that is killed by someone black. They don't want equal coverage of that. They don't want black nationalists and black supremacists being showed that they were racist. They don't want these blacks, these black folk who are committing murders because of racism being charged with hate crime. You have to beg, scream, and holler for them to get to even consider the hate crime.
Exactly.
So this is what the left want. They want socialism brings evil.
It sure does. It sure does. 100%. So you know, the whole episode with CNN sucks, which they absolutely do suck. Fake news, CNN. Our brother Cliff Uno was there.
Yeah,
he was there. And guess what? I actually have him on the line with us right now.
Oh, he gonna get me.
Go ahead, Cliff.
Hey, how are you guys doing tonight?
What's up?
Fantastic.
I gotta tell you, I was there, and I can prove it because Donald Trump tweeted a video of me, and I'm also on Donald Trump's Instagram. I was on CNN tonight. They showed the video of me there, and I don't want to take credit where credit isn't due, but I'm gonna take some credit for this because me and Jason Lowe are the ones that instigated that situation with Jim Acosta, and we were in the front row when it all went down, and we were interviewing the interviewers, and I actually interviewed Jim Acosta when that whole crazy chaos was over. It was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that when you were live. You know, it was crazy. And he said, "We're gonna stay here. We're gonna stay here. The fake news. We're gonna stay here and keep spewing out our fake news."
Well, I will say this though. There's been a lot of reports about how it all went down. I don't think at any point he was like in fear and he thought he was going to get hurt. I mean, I talked to him kind of a little bit. I asked him a question. The question I asked him when everybody was chanting fake news, when all that kind of settled down, I asked him the question is, how is it possible? How is it statistically possible that 92% of all the media about Trump is negative? And he's like, well, where'd you get that from? I'm like, Harvard. That's a Harvard study. I said, it's statistically impossible. And I kept going that, if you guys would be a little bit more like even, you wouldn't be considered fake news. And he couldn't comprehend that. He kept, all he kept saying was, well, I don't know about that study. Well, it's an actual study. 92% of all the media against Trump, based on Harvard study, is negative. I mean, if you follow Charles Manson around all day long and did stories about him, you'd have to say at least 9% of things were good, that he would do. It's not possible that 92% of everything Trump does is negative. It's just not possible.
Well, according to CNN, it is. And MSNBC and ABC and CBS and the rest of the Alphabet Network supergroup. To them, it is.
But I will tell you, he handled himself well. I think, he didn't really, incite us. He didn't, he just kind of stood there and took his beating almost. It was, I don't know how he could have acted differently, but I think he acted appropriately, I mean, I will give him credit for that. You got to be honest with people.
He knows that Trump supporters aren't the violent ones. It's always the other way around. It's always liberals, the leftists, the Democrats. They're the violent ones, and he knows that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he didn't feel like he was in fear. There was one guy that was screaming at him that he hates Jews, and there were the black guys, the blacks for Trump that were really screaming at him. Jason Lowe, he was screaming at him about, the things that he said and, done, and that Jason felt like were, pretty much misdeeds of CNN. I mean, then the whole thing's just kind of chaos. But if you watch the video, you don't see the beginning where Jason and I were interviewing a young reporter for the USA Today, and I asked her if she said she just got out of college a year ago, and I asked her if in journalism school if they had a course on fakeology.
Yeah, I saw that.
I said, is there a course on fakeology that you take? And I tried to get her to tell me who on the stage was fake news, and when she was like, she didn't have anything to say. And then we went over to Jim Acosta, and you can kind of see how we kind of migrated over there. We were like the first two, and then it just developed into pure chaos. I mean. It was crazy. I didn't feel bad for the guy, but it was kind of interesting to be involved.
Well, you know what? He and along with the rest of the evil CNN, they're bringing it onto themselves. They spend the entire day, 24/7, trying to take down. I guarantee right now, if we flip over to CNN, they're showing something completely hateful about the president, trying to get at him. Stormy, Russia, something. Something, man.
I was actually. They showed the video that I was on CNN tonight. I was watching CNN for a second because somebody texted me and said, "Hey, you're on CNN right now." The crazy thing I would say about all this is, in the old days, media cameras would have like Fox, ABC, CBS, CNN on the cameras, to identify who they are. Nobody in that press corps had any acknowledgement of who they were on any of their cameras, and I found that to be something completely different than you used to see like 10 years ago. All these cameras would all have like, I work for MSNBC or NBC or something like that. Nobody would even recognize who they work for. It was nuts. It's like they really do believe that they're fake media. They don't want to acknowledge even who they are. When in the old days, they used to be proud of who they were. Now there wasn't one camera in that whole patch that had a symbol, a name, or anything on it.
Yeah. Well, cool.
I mean, it was crazy. But there was more people outside that couldn't get in when Trump started speaking than there were inside the building. I do know that.
Yeah.
Because Robin from my show, he stood in line from 4 o'clock and he got in right when Trump started speaking. And he told me that there were more people outside than could have filled in that whole building. So that means there was like 20-some thousand people there.
Yeah, well, cool. Well, hey, Cliff. Hey, I want to thank you for the call.
Yeah, you guys have a great night, man. Thanks for calling me. Talk to you later.
Thanks, Cliff.
Yep,
take care.
You too.
You got somebody up here named Scott Aaron. I don't know if he's joking or if he's not. Maybe you can go to his page, Scott Aaron. Look like a well, like I say, I ain't gonna tell a joke yet. He could be somebody that's joking, saying what the liberals say. But yeah, he said the Clinton Bigsby Network. And I know what Clayton Bigsby is. That's the character that Dave Chappelle played when he was like the black white supremacist.
Yeah, I get that all the I get that one all the time too, saying you're like the David Chappelle. You're the
and
David
I'm like,
Chappelle.
you know what? Good.
Yep. Well, cool. Hey, I know Jermaine has to go. And what's been very eventful. I know when we started off the broadcast today, it started off on an extremely sad note. But I wanted to end off with something with us laughing together. And I did that on purpose because we need that every now and then. And with Trump just put the icing on the cake. I love it. Russian robot. They keep trying to say it was the Russians. The Russian boss did it. But anyways, hey, I want to thank you guys again. It's always an honor to be on with you. And I want to thank everybody for help fighting the censorship by hitting that share button. I really appreciate it. And I thank you. And everybody on Periscope, thank you for sharing. I'm still learning about Periscope. I'm still trying to figure it out, but hey, we're at least there. And everybody on YouTube, I want to thank everybody on YouTube. I mean, a lot of people really engaging on YouTube, and it's really beautiful. And I want to thank everybody for keeping us in your prayers, because what we're doing, we're putting ourselves on the line every single day. You want to say one more last thing before you go, Jermaine and Jamal?
Oh, yeah. What I want to say is that everybody take care. Life is very short. Make sure that you guys take care of your loved ones. As you guys know, the left is on the march and they hate America. So we have to stick next to our president to make sure that he succeeds in the mission that he has put upon us.
Yep. Trump 2020. Jamal?
Well, I'm going to have to do this before I go. For all you who are mad at us because you don't like we support President Trump, remember, it was y'all president, Obama, who said this. What does he got? Do he have magic wand? No. I ain't going to advertise for him. But I was going to say that this economy, you ask him, he just gave you a runaround. I don't want to have that going. Yeah, you know what I'm doing.
Don't forget about the one.
Big head bastard with your chicken head, ugly wife. But other than that, thank you all for listening. I'm still banned from Facebook, so I got 30. I'm trying. They won't even let me appeal it.
Yeah.
So Facebook is really coming at me, and I'm gonna come back and post the same exact video that got me.
Cool. Hey, like I said, thank you, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. And if you're going to Portland this weekend, I will see you in Portland. And if you're going to Berkeley, I will see you in Berkeley. Other than that, thank you. Love your family, kiss your children, and say, in the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus. Good night, and God bless.
Praise the Lord.
Are you interested in protecting America? Are you ready to speak up against legislation you don't agree with? And take the fight to your city council, school boards, and representatives. It's time to act locally. Go to UniteAmericaFirst.com/act locally. Start a local Unite America First group today.
Show your patriotism. Visit our UniteWare store. Simply visit our website and click on the UAF store. That will take you to our store where you will find lots of items to choose from, including t-shirts like Trump is your president, Vote Them Out 2018, visors, caps, and our UAF collection. We appreciate you supporting us. Please visit UniteAmericaFirst.com today.
Unite America First presents the 4J's, Nothing But the Truth and Keeping It Real, with Jay McCaney, Jermaine Bazzio, The Mind of Jamal, Will Johnson. Tune in Wednesday night, 7, 9, and 10